Cool to see that over here. I'm here back with another video, and actually on today's video I want to cover the topic that if 1000cc or this kind of ZX-10R, it's a good bike for the road or for public roads or for just the back roads. So without further ado, let's jump on the bike and we'll cover the topic from there. Okay, right off the bat, as soon as you get on the bike, the seating position, that you can tell this bike is not built for comfort. So super sport bike, we have sport bike and super sport. So this one's considered super sport bike, which is for ZX-10R. It is, I would say, 80 to 90% track oriented bike. So this bike is not built for comfort at all. So that's one aspect of having this bike, because there are other liter bikes that are a little bit more upright, more than ZX-10R, so they are a little bit more comfortable than ZX-10R. But for sure this bike was not built for comfort at all. Or anything else on today's topic that I want to cover, that if sport bike, or I'm mainly going to cover my 22 ZX-10R, if this bike is a good bike for the road or it's too much for the road. So right off the bat, this bike, it has, like I said, it's not built for comfort. Like, if you think you're gonna feel comfortable on this bike, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Like, yes, you may feel comfortable for a couple of hours or so, but let's say if you want to go in a 2-hour 3-hour ride with your friends or anything, this bike will give you a little bit of pain, your back pain, and because you're always in the race and tuck position, so that'll give you a little bit of difficulty. Another thing about this bike, it is super duper powerful, that like for the roads like this, you don't really need a bike like that. So on the roads like this road over here, all you need is like a Ninja 300 or Ninja 400, or like a more of an upright bike, because the amount of power these bikes produce, it's crazy. For example, look, first gear, like, you're already done. You don't need that much power for the public roads. Plus, riding these bikes on like slower pace, let's say on a lower speed, the bike heats up really quick. So bikes like this, they always like to be like revved out. They always like to be on a high revs. Otherwise, I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you have a sport bike, but if you're driving on a slower pace with this bike, the bike always gets hot and then your fan always comes on. That is actually not healthy for the bike. It is okay if it happens like here and there. Let's say you're trying to get to a highway, or you're trying to, like, I don't know, get into traffic, but like if that constantly comes up, that's bad for your motorcycle actually, because you keep overheating the engine, so your fan has to come on. And these bikes, they have a tiny fan, so the fan cannot really cool down like this much amount of power. And one other thing is that this bike, you cannot on the public roads like this, or on the street, you cannot take this bike to 100. You cannot ride this bike to 100% potential of the bike. Not only you or me, no one can. And then if you've ever been told that yes, you can go ahead and do that, you have been misinformed. You have been misinformed about riding this kind of bike and then getting 100% potential of the bike on a public road just like this. Like, you have definitely been misinformed. You need to do your research and do your math, because even in the track, when you go to the track, there is no way that some normal person just like me, or probably you, I'm not trying to like shit on anyone or anything, but an average person cannot use this bike to 100% potential of it on the road, because for a few reasons. Because you have a lot of objects, you have a lot of upcoming traffic, there is a lot of cars that you need to be aware of, so technically you can't really focus on your riding and all of that. Plus, the roads are not meant for that. And even when you go to the track, as an average person, you're just going to have fun. You won't be able to ride this bike to 100% potential of it unless you're Jonathan Ray or Alex Rins, who are like racing for Kawasaki Superbike World Cup, whatever. Even those guys, they're gonna have a hard time pushing the bike to its limit if you're watching those competitions. So this bike is definitely way too much for public roads and just like roads like this. So if you're planning on buying one of these bikes just to ride around the town, do not do that. I would say I had a video that video was about if this bike is a good commuter bike. Yes, it is a good commuter bike, let's say, because on a highway you have enough speed and power to pull away, but you cannot commute on this bike every day for like, I don't know, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour at night just because you have a sport bike. However, I know a couple of people who have sport bikes and they commute on their sport bike all the time and they're happy with it. Like, there's also the other thing, that there are some people who enjoy riding the bike and commute and all of that, which is okay. I'm cool with that. I don't have anything for them. But as a general information, these kind of bikes, they are not meant to be ride in the road, because you're not gonna enjoy. You cannot go that much fast. But like, unless you're tracking your bike, taking it to the track, or like you do those things that you're not supposed to do with your bike, then yeah, you can enjoy it. But if you want to get bike like this for public roads and just to ride around the town or to learn on it, do not make that mistake. Do not waste your money. And also, one other reason is because the bike itself, it's kind of heavy. The bike, it's not like the difference between this and a 600, it's not that much, but the 600 itself, it is like still lighter than a liter bike or 1000cc, so you have more room to like jiggle around with your bike. So the 600 would still make more sense for public roads than a 1000cc, and especially the ZX-10R, because the way they build the ZX-10R, it's kind of bulkier than all other liter bikes, because nowadays liter bikes, they all trying to go slimmer with the same power to save some weight. But I like how Kawi kept it bulky, because if you ride a liter bike, you want it to be bulky and like a big boy bike, if you know what I'm saying. So that's also one other thing, because the bike is heavy, it's kind of hard to move right and left with the bike, or like maneuver around in a lower speed, because the lower speed that you have, it's the harder you can control your bike. This was my review about if this 2022 or any ZX-10R, it's good for public roads. This was my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, so every time I post a new video or content, you will be notified. Also drop a like, dislike, and you know the drill. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.